Good morning, good afternoon, all of you. In the morning, we have discussed redox reaction. Redox reaction in terms of what? What we have done in the morning? Anyone?
Oxygen and hydrogen. Reduction and oxidation.
Oxygen and hydrogen, ma'am.
In terms of oxygen and hydrogen. Okay. So now we are going to do oxidation and reduction in terms of loss and gain of electron. But before doing redox reaction in terms of loss and gain of electron, I want to give you some more questions based on what? Loss and gain of hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, in the morning we have discussed this example. Copper oxide reacts with oxygen, gives what? Copper plus H2O. Where copper oxide was changing from copper oxide to copper, there was what? There was removal of oxygen, and because it was removal of oxygen, so it will be considered as what? Oxidation.
Reduction.
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 It will be reduction. Okay, it will be reduction, and the substance which undergoes reduction in the reactant side is called what? What it is called?
Reduction.
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 In the process. What are you going to call the reactant? What is happening in the reactant? CuO is getting what?
Reduced.
Oxidized or reduced?
Reduced.
CuO is getting reduced. Okay, CuO is getting reduced. From CuO, it is converting to Cu. Okay. So now see this here, H2. From H2, it is changing into H2O. Oxygen is being added. So when the oxygen is being added, then it is called what? Then it is called
Oxidation.
oxidation. Process of
Oxidation.
this is the oxidation. So this substance will be said to be what?
Oxidized.
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 So the substance which is oxidized is what? H2. Here we come to know one more term, that is reducing agent and oxidizing agent. So in CuO, what are you going to call it? Whether it is oxidizing agent or reducing agent?
Oxidizing agent.
Oxidizing agent.
Why it is oxidizing agent? Anyone? Can anyone explain me? Why it is
Because
oxidizing agent?
क्योंकि ये ऑक्सीड
हाँ? क्यों?
Because
Anyone
it
please
itself
explain.
can oxidize the other.
What? Why CuO is considered to be as an oxidizing agent? Anyone please explain it to me?
Because it give oxygen to the hydrogen and getting reduced.
Very good. Very well said. So CuO is said to be oxidizing agent. Why? Why it is said to be oxidizing agent? Because it is getting itself reduced. Reduction means what? Removal of oxygen. So when it is going to lose oxygen, then only it will give oxygen to the another reactant, and another reactant will be oxidized. So the substance which get itself reduced and oxidizes the other is called what? Is called an oxidizing agent. Okay, class. From today onwards, whoever is coming very late, please mind it. Please come on time. Now, this one, oxidized. So, H2 now will be said to be as what? What are you going to say? H2. H2 is which agent?
Reducing agent.
Reducing agent.
Reducing agent. This is reducing agent.
Reducing
Why is reducing agent? Why reducing agent?
because it get itself reduced and oxidize the oxygen.
Okay, it is said to be as a reducing agent. Why? Because it is getting what? Itself oxidized. And when it is itself oxidized and it is reducing the other. So the substance which reduces the other is called what? Reducing agent. That's why hydrogen is what? Hydrogen is reducing agent. Clear to everyone? Is it clear to one and all? If it is clear, raise your hand.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So one more example. This we have done on the basis of what? On the basis of loss and gain of oxygen. Now I'll take another example where we will deal with hydrogen. Okay. So I think you have already noted down this example. Take another example. Okay. Suppose I have given you this. Okay. Brajesh Kumar, is there any student Brajesh Kumar in your class?
No, ma'am.
ma'am.
No, Brajesh Kumar is there. So, hydrogen iodide reacts with chlorine to give what? Hydrogen chloride and iodine. Now, this is a redox reaction. What it is? This is a redox reaction. Now, we have to prove that in this reaction, both oxidation as well as reduction is taking place. So you have to see the reactant side. आपको पहले कौन सा side देखना होगा? Reactant देखना होगा. What changes are taking place in the reactant side? So what changes are taking place? From HI, what is formed? HCl is formed. Okay, and I2 is formed. So you can take the arrow of HI to which product? HCl or I2? कहाँ ले जाए arrow? Here there is no oxygen. Is there any oxygen? Class?
No, ma'am.
No oxygen.
ma'am.
So we have to discuss the reaction, redox reaction in terms of what? In terms of hydrogen. So that's why what you will do? Where you will take the arrow? Will you take it to HCl? HCl के पास ले जाएंगे या HI के से I2 के पास ले जाएंगे? I2 के पास ही ले जाएंगे. यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? What is happening here? What is happening here?
Oxidation.
Oxidation. What is happening here? Minus H2, na? When it is minus H2, then which process is going on?
Oxidation.
Oxidation process. So if this is oxidation process, if this process is oxidation, so what you will call this HI to be? It will be said to be what? Oxidized कहेंगे या reduced कहेंगे? बोलो. इसको reduce कहेंगे. जब oxidation process हो रहा है तो ये reduce होगा.
Oxidized.
When the process is oxidation, then this is said to be what? Oxidized only, na? What do you mean by
Yes, ma'am.
oxidation? Anyone? What do you mean by
Addition
oxidation?
of oxygen and
हाँ, say clearly, repeat it.
मैम ब्रजेश कुमार कौन है?
कौन है ये ब्रजेश कुमार?
मैम आंसर दे रहा है, हम लोग की क्लास का नहीं है.
नहीं है. एक
Yes, ma'am,
सेकंड,
नहीं है.
let me see. हाँ, ब्रजेश कुमार. Brajesh
Yes,
Kumar,
ma'am.
who are
Yes,
you?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Who are you?
मैम 10E 10E का मैम
10 कैसे आ गए यहाँ पे?
मैम शो कर रहा था ऊपर में.
नहीं 10 को तो नहीं करना है. आई एम रिमूविंग यू.
यस मैम. ओके मैम.
You leave it or else you will be unable to join the class. Okay. Remove yourself. Leave the class.
ओके मैम.
So in this reaction, HI is undergoing what? Oxidation process where there is removal of hydrogen. So HI will be said to be what? Oxidized or reduced?
Oxidized.
Oxidized.
तो क्या बोलेंगे?
Oxidized.
It will be said to be what? Oxidized. तो हम क्या लिखेंगे? HI is getting what? Oxidized. Okay. यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? Cl2 will go to HCl. Cl2 will go to HCl. Now what is happening here?
Reduction.
Reduction. Why reduction?
Reduction, ma'am.
Why reduction?
Because this
Yeah.
gains hydrogen.
Because
It gains hydrogen.
it gains hydrogen plus H2. Hydrogen is being added to chlorine. So when hydrogen is being added to chlorine, then it is called what? Then it is called reduction. And since the process of reduction is taking place, so chlorine will be said to be what?
Reduced.
क्लोरीन को क्या बोलेंगे? रिड्यूस्ड बोलेंगे. क्लोरीन हो गया, क्या हो गया? ये हो गया रिड्यूस्ड. Up to here, any question? Is there any question? Anyone? Now, which one is the oxidizing agent and which one is the reducing agent?
Cl2 is oxidizing agent and HI is a reducing agent.
Very good. Why HI is reducing agent? Why HI is reducing agent?
Because it get itself reduced and oxidized the other
Because
substance.
it is getting itself reduced. How it is getting itself reduced? How it is getting reduced? How can we say that it is getting reduced?
It gains
Because
H.
Reduced. Is it correct? Tell me. Is it correct that it is getting reduced?
No, ma'am.
Huh? It is not getting reduced. It is getting oxidized. Oxidized means it is losing hydrogen and it is giving to other. You cannot say that it is getting reduced. It will reduce the other. Reducing agent का मतलब है the substance which reduces the other. It will not get reduced. एजेंट का काम क्या है? मैंने आपको मॉर्निंग में ही बताया था. एजेंट का काम कलरिंग एजेंट, do the coloring. Bleaching agent will bleach. Dehydrating agent will removal of water. Will do the removal of water. So similarly, reducing agent, what it will do? It will reduce. It will do what? The process of reduction. तो reduction process का मतलब क्या हो गया? It will add hydrogen or it will remove oxygen. Is it or not? Reduction का मतलब क्या है? What does reduction means? Plus H2 or minus O2. Okay. First of all, you have to keep this thing in your mind. When the definition is asked that what is reducing agent? The substance which gets itself what? Itself oxidized. It is getting itself oxidized and is reducing the other. It is reducing chlorine. ये किसको reduce कर रहा है? बताओ. Anyone?
Ma'am, please
No.
explain one more time.
What explanation you need? Hydrogen.
Ma'am, how it is? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how is it? So first of all, you should know Hi plus Cl2 gives 2HCl plus I2. Okay, तो यहाँ पर Hi का एरो हम HCl के पास तो नहीं ले जाएंगे, हमको यहाँ पर एक्सप्लेन क्या करना है, रिडॉक्स रिएक्शन एक्सप्लेन करना है. Redox reaction means what? Reaction in which reduction and oxidation process is taking place. Okay, this point is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Reduction process means what? Plus H2 या minus H2. Either there will be addition of hydrogen or there will be removal of oxygen. That will be what? That will be the process of reduction. That will be the process of reduction. And reverse to it, oxidation. Oxidation means what? Minus H2, that is removal of H2 or addition of O2. This is the process of what? This is the process of oxidation. Okay, class? So, here in this reaction, Hi is forming what? I2. This part of the reaction is undergoing what? Oxidation. यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? Oxidation हम लिख रहे हैं. क्यों oxidation हो रहा है? क्योंकि यहाँ से H हट रहा है और फॉर्म क्या कर रहा है? I2. Removal of hydrogen is taking place. So when there is removal of hydrogen, this is the process of oxidation. Up to here, any problem?
No, ma'am.
Everyone, it is clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have any question, please raise your hand. No one? आगे बढ़े. अब देखो, जहाँ पे ऑक्सीडेशन होता है, उस साइड का रिएक्टेंट जो होता है, वो रिएक्टेंट को हम क्या बोलेंगे? वो क्या हो रहा है? ऑक्सीडाइज्ड हो रहा है. क्या हो रहा है? ऑक्सीडाइज्ड हो रहा है. ओके, वो हो रहा है ऑक्सीडाइज्ड. तो जो ऑक्सीडाइज्ड होता है वही दूसरे को क्या करता है? What does it do? Class? How it is going to behave? The one which is getting oxidized is removing hydrogen, will obviously give the hydrogen to the other reactant. Is it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
It will give, if it is getting oxidized, it is removing hydrogen, so it is going to give that hydrogen to the other reactant. The other reactant which will accept will be what? Reduced. वो क्या हो जाएगा? वो तो reduced हो जाएगा. Why? Because it is accepting the hydrogen. And accepting of
Yes, ma'am.
hydrogen is called what? What is that process called?
Reduction.
That
Reduction.
process is called reduction. Okay. Is the point clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
जो जहां पर ऑक्सीडेशन हो रहा है उसका जो भी रिएक्शन है, मान लो ये रिएक्शन है आपका, यहाँ पे रिएक्शन दिख रहा है, यहाँ पे Hi2HI, ये क्या दे रहा है? यहाँ पे हमको मिल रहा है I2. अब ये तो H कहाँ गया? Where is the H? तो H has been used up by what? By chlorine. Chlorine has taken that, accepted that hydrogen, because you have read in law of conservation of mass, nothing is destroyed. Law of conservation of mass says what? Mass remain conserved.
Atoms neither created nor destroyed.
Not destroyed, and mass remain conserved. So that hydrogen will be accepted by the other one. Then only the reaction will be balanced. तो ये जो हाइड्रोजन आयोडाइड में से हाइड्रोजन जो लूज हुआ है, तो जब ये हाइड्रोजन को लूज किया तो ये क्या कहलाएगा? हाँ बोलो, क्या कहलाएगा?
Oxidation.
Beta, process is oxidation. The process is said to be oxidation, but the substance which is undergoing oxidation will be called what? It will be called
Reducing
what?
agent.
Oxidized.
Reducing
So that
agent.
it is called what? Oxidized. समझ रहे हैं आप लोग? ऑक्सीडेशन कहाँ पे बोल रहा है, ऑक्सीडाइज्ड कहाँ पे बोलना है? So this is called what? Oxidized. And the process is called what? The process is called?
Oxidation.
Yes. Now you're right. The process is called what? Oxidation. The reactant is called what? The reactant is called what? Oxidized.
Oxidized.
So this reactant is called what? Oxidized. तो जो ऑक्सीडाइज्ड होता है वो कैसे बिहेव करता है? How does it behave? It behaves like which agent?
Reducing
There are
agent.
two types
Reducing
of
agent.
Reducing agent.
oxidizing agent and reducing agent. So this is going to behave like what? This is going to behave like a reducing agent. Now why we are calling that this is going to behave like a reducing agent? Anyone? Why we are saying that this is behaving like a reducing agent?
Reduces the other.
Because it's reducing the other, it is reducing the other. How? Reducing means what? What does reducing mean? Reducing
Gain
का
of
मतलब क्या होता है? Reduction का मतलब क्या होता है? बताओ.
gain of hydrogen.
Gain of
Very good.
hydrogen.
Reduction means what? Gain of hydrogen or removal of oxygen. So this one is gaining hydrogen. ये दूसरे को क्या कर रहा है? हाइड्रोजन दे रहा है ना? ये दे रहा है ना, दूसरे को क्या कर रहा है? दे करके रिड्यूस कर रहा है. Isn't it? This hydrogen iodide is reducing what? Chlorine. Okay? Is it okay, everyone? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear
Yes,
to
ma'am.
one and all? This point is
Yes,
clear.
ma'am.
आगे बढ़े.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, कोई क्वेश्चन है? प्रियांशु. Now, another part, chlorine. Chlorine is forming what? Hydrogen chloride. Earlier, there was no hydrogen here. There was no hydrogen. But in the product side, what we are finding? We are finding that hydrogen has been added here. So when hydrogen is being added, hydrogen plus H to the process, this process is called what? This process is called what?
Reduction.
Reduction. This process is called reduction. So the reactant will be called as
Reduced.
Reduced.
reduced. इसको क्या बोलेंगे?
Reduced.
It will be called reduced. Okay. So this will be acting as what? This will be acting
Oxidizing agent.
as an
Oxidizing
oxidizing agent. ये कैसे act करेगा?
Oxidized
Oxidizing agent की तरह. Can anyone explain me that why are you calling this one as an oxidizing agent?
because it itself gets oxidized. Because it itself gets reduced and oxidizes the other.
Because itself get what? Itself gets what? Itself get reduced and oxidizes the other. By removing hydrogen from the other, it is getting itself what? Reduced. So this is called what? This is called oxidizing agent. Clear? Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
This is all about what? This is all about redox reaction in terms of what? In terms of loss and gain of hydrogen. Okay, I'll give you another example. I will give you another example which you will do it yourself. Okay. Write down. Now please do this question. Do this question.